folks, Legionnaire Archery. I want to talk to you about this bow. Today this bow has a pretty peculiar string alignment. It's aligned to one side, and this was a naturally occurring thing on the wood, but it was actually a little bit more pronounced. However, I decided to keep most of it just because it makes for a very accurate bow. I shot a group out at 15 yards right now, and what happens is when you have the string aligned towards one side, what tends to happen is that you don't have that arrow paradox where the arrow bends around the bow or has to bend around the bow. It's more like a center shot bow. The only reason why it would not perform like that would be if the string alignment was due to the limbs bending as a propeller. So if you don't tiller the bow correctly and that causes an alignment issue, it's not going to, the bow's not going to perform as well as it would if it just has a natural or induced curve for that matter. So in this case, if you look at this bow, let me unstring it for you. If you look at this particular piece of wood from one end to the other, you can see that naturally this stick was bent a little bit. So you tend to get that with more snaky pieces of wood. So it was already like that to begin with. It was actually, like I said, more pronounced. So what I did was I did bend it a little bit just to get the string. So when I string it, the string actually, it's like that. So the arrow does not have to bend. If the string was here, the arrow would have to bend about half an inch, a little bit less than half an inch. But that causes the arrow to have to bend. Therefore your arrows have to be spined. The arrows that I just shot were not spined for this bow, and they are not all the same. And so when you have a bow like this where the strings aligned towards that side and you're shooting it, it doesn't really affect whether or not you have your arrows spined. All you have to make sure is that your arrows are weigh the same, because that's gonna affect whether or not they're gonna shoot low or high. And so I wanted to share that with you, because sometimes when you have a piece like this, you want to get the string off to the center, but it's not really necessary. So if you're working on a project like this, just know that it doesn't necessarily have to be centered. So you can get away with having a string off to one side, and it actually shoots a lot better than when it's centered. I like it more when I have the string off to that one side, because I can be more accurate. It's a little bit more forgiving. And so especially in a hunting situation where you're nervous, it goes a long way if you can have some tolerance and not have to be as accurate. Although if you are shooting and you are trying to be as accurate as you can be, it doesn't hurt for you to have your string aligned towards one side. You can see examples of this with the Yumi bow that the Japanese use. They will purposely align it towards, they actually shoot on this side, so their string is on the other side. And so they used that for many years. When the Yumi bow makers are making their bows, they make them like that on purpose. So just wanted to share that with you, and thank you for watching.